My wife, 26, initiated an open relationship to explore her sexuality with other women, which I, 27, agreed to. We had enjoyable experiences with threesomes and foursomes. However, my curiosity led me to seek a professional encounter with a high-end escort that was a one-time thing. Recently, my wife expressed feeling uncomfortable and insecure, leading us to agree to close the relationship again. She then unexpectedly asked me to share my experiences from our open relationship, including the escort encounter. I opted for honesty and disclosed everything to hear and feeling overwhelmed as she blamed me for the relationship deteriorating. I'm unsure whether to end things or try marriage counseling. In my opinion, open relationships may not be the solution, especially when trust and security are lacking. It seems like she may not be comfortable with certain aspects, such as my experience with an escort. Miscommunications and differing values can strain relationships. She didn't think you would be able to get laid. That's why you bought an escort service. This extremely pissed her off. In her eyes, you cheated on the arrangement. In her eyes, the arrangement was, I will go sleep with other people, and you will go try to sleep with other people and fail. This is the right answer right here. Something similar happened to an acquaintance of mine. His wife demanded an open relationship so she could experience other women, not realizing he was inexperienced. He was a 29-year-old guy in a major U.S. coastal city who had never been with a guy. He quickly made up for lost time. About 10 months later, she brought up closing the relationship, but he wasn't ready. So he said something like, "Not yet. I'm enjoying this." That piqued her interest, and she started hounding him for details. Although they had agreed not to discuss details, she eventually wore him down, and he spilled it. She lost her mind after my initial post on Reddit. A significant fallout occurred between my then wife and me. We engaged in heated arguments rather than constructive discussions about the situation. It appears that she had engaged in activities with someone else and now wants to reconcile, only to discover that I had been doing the same. The lack of clear boundaries or communication led to confusion and hurt. Sadly, the situation escalated to my ex-wife exhibiting violent and abusive behavior towards me, including hiding items and throwing objects during arguments. It was a challenging period as we navigated the aftermath of our failed attempt at an open marriage one. Despite the skepticism of many, I was determined to repair it too. She lost her job due to the virus, leaving her with limited funds from Savings 3. After contemplating the decision for some time, I eventually asked her to leave when she became violent with me 4. I'm doing well and didn't require medical attention 5. This was the tipping point for me, leading me to seek legal assistance for the divorce 6. At the advice of others, I sought a psychological assessment for my wife due to her temper issues and past outbursts 7. This decision helped protect my assets during the divorce proceedings 8. While not wealthy, I have substantial savings inherited from my grandparents 9. Looking back, I wish I had pursued marriage counseling to address our issues 10. She was a wonderful partner during our time together, but jealousy and other factors ultimately strained our relationship 11. As a result, I am now divorced and have sold the house. Damn, now I am free of that woman. I did not like how this had to end, but I now know that I will probably never marry again and probably won't have an open relationship anytime soon. Unfortunately, my ex-wife had told a lot of my friends about what happened, and most of them abandoned me. Only a few came to me to hear my side of the story, which is quite unfortunate and was a bit of a stab in the heart. But now I know who I can trust. Sorry that this post is quite a mess. I'm quite drunk right now and should rather have slept than wrote this update. If you have any questions, I will answer them tomorrow morning. Thank you to the ones that gave me great advice. Now for some top comments. Did she never get counseling? She became very unstable and dangerous. Did you get a restraining order against her? Part of her mental problems is probably what led her to want to open the marriage anyway. It sounds like you ended up all right in the divorce. Check out Better Bachelor and Donovan Sharp on YouTube. You might find, yes, she is now in counseling, but it's a bit difficult due to restrictions. I did get a restraining order against her. I stay in contact with one of her friends who updates me on her stability and progress. She never exhibited jealousy and aggression before. She used to be confident and stable without insecurities. When a marriage is suggested to be open, it's usually doomed. Congratulations on finalizing the divorce. People who abandoned you can't be trusted, but those who reached out can. Consider sharing the evidence you have with them. Good luck and thank you. I did, and now we're closer friends than before. You should have reported her to the police after she threw the knife. Either way, she's in the past. Ignore and move on. I agree that reporting her would have been logical, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. I did film the incident, which was helpful. Now it's about moving forward to the public. My 27-year-old soon-to-be ex-husband, a 37-year-old male, coerced me into agreeing to an open marriage. To add to the situation, he is now falsely accusing me of infidelity. How can I demonstrate my innocence? 2 years ago, my spouse proposed the idea of opening up our marriage. Having been married for 3 years and together for 5, I expressed my discomfort with the idea. However, he gave me an ultimatum: either agree to an open marriage or face a divorce. Not wanting to end the marriage, I reluctantly consented. The following year was incredibly difficult as he openly engaged with multiple partners, even bringing them into our shared home without regard for my feelings. He even had relations with my former best friend and attempted to involve us in a threesome. When I raised my concerns, he dismissed them, citing my failure to establish rules at the outset. Our only stipulation was practicing safe sex, and I was not allowed to voice grievances. Despite enduring this for a year, the accusations of infidelity persisted. He confided in my friend Anna, whom I've known since high school. Despite her disliking my husband and a period of drifting apart after I got married, she encouraged me to go back to work after hearing about the struggles in my marriage. My husband had made me quit my job when we got married, even though I had a higher earning potential than him, and this decision had led to financial difficulties for us. Anna then introduced me to her brother, Leo, who owns a company in the same field I had wanted to pursue my career in. After a successful informal interview, Leo offered me a job. Despite my husband's protests, including offering to close our marriage if I quit, I refused to give in and chose to remain independent. When my husband threatened divorce, I was already emotionally detached from the relationship. About 8 months later, Anna invited me to move in with her as her roommate was leaving, and I accepted the offer and filed for divorce. Anna and Leo helped me through the process and supported me in moving my belongings while my husband was at work. He started spreading rumors to family and friends that I was having an affair with Leo. Despite the untrue nature of these rumors, many people believe my husband's accusations. My friends are pressuring me to reconcile with my husband, suggesting that my supposed affair was motivated by a desire for social status. Jane, in particular, is being especially cruel, likely due to her own past feelings for Leo. Unfortunately, I don't have any concrete evidence to prove that these allegations are false, as the situation of an open marriage isn't documented in writing. How can I convince them of my innocence without physical proof? Additionally, how can I shield myself from the negative impact of these hurtful rumors? Tips: focus on safeguarding yourself from a negative publicity campaign orchestrated by your narcissistic ex to maintain control. It's crucial not to get involved and to rely on your genuine friends for support. It's also important to ensure that your honesty is upheld during any divorce proceedings, especially in disproving any false accusations of infidelity. Reviewing your communications with your husband could reveal evidence to counter his claims. Unless there's a prenuptial agreement involved, infidelity might not directly impact the divorce proceedings. Consider leaving behind your abusive husband and unsupportive circle of friends to surround yourself with people who truly value and respect you. Removing toxic influences from your life can lead to a happier and healthier future. Keeping close those like Anna and Leo, who offer genuine support, can be beneficial. Wishing you the best in navigating through this challenging situation. Reframing: a fresh start for a new beginning. By the way, in an open relationship, is it really relevant if she was involved with Leo? Should the soon-to-be ex-husband face the same judgment for his relationship with Jane? Perhaps it's time to move on from these individuals. Music, my spouse. 42 female of 2 decades just disclosed to me. 44 male. Her desire to explore dating and intimacy with other individuals. Let me share one last tale. My partner, 42 female of 20 years, has revealed to me. 44 male. Her interest in exploring romantic relationships with other men. We have 7 children together and recently broke free from a restrictive religious group, Mormon. We tied the knot at a very young age and adhered to strict moral codes. Despite being a flirt when we first met, she suppressed her desires to conform to the beliefs of our former religious community. We deeply care for each other, yet she feels liberated to rediscover the life she sacrificed. She wishes to maintain our marriage, ensuring that I remain her top priority. She expressed that a conventional marriage no longer aligns with her needs. She insists on being liberated from all constraints, and has been requesting an open marriage, expressing that otherwise she may end up being unfaithful. She believes that casual relationships are just for fun and wants to experience all aspects of life to the fullest. Despite allowing me to engage with other women, I am deeply in love with her, and the idea of her being with someone else breaks my heart. I am torn between accepting her perspective or facing the possibility of losing her. I have told her that I release her from any restrictions, as I believe anything else would result in infidelity and separation. The situation is difficult and painful for me, as I struggle to come to terms with it. Though she is happy about this decision, the thought of her communicating with other men weighs heavily on me. It's overwhelming to arrange meetups at the moment. I have deep love for her. Here is my top piece of advice. If you are against the idea of an open marriage, it's crucial to communicate this clearly. Let her know that you are not willing to entertain the idea and be prepared for the possibility of divorce. She has already indicated that she is not interested in a closed marriage, so your options are limited to divorce, accepting a one-sided open marriage, or the risk of infidelity. Consider the potential consequences, such as the risk of sexually transmitted diseases or unplanned pregnancies from extramarital affairs. If you are not comfortable with the idea of an open marriage, it may be best to present her with divorce papers rather than granting permission for outside relationships. Continuing in a situation where one partner is not fully committed to monogamy can lead to eventual infidelity and serious damage to the relationship. If divorce does become the best course of action, try to focus on the positive memories shared with her and aim for an amicable separation. It's important to recognize that her perspective may be influenced by unrealistic expectations, and the likelihood of finding suitable partners for casual relationships may be limited. You are not going to be upstanding gentlemen. There is the possibility of getting into a swinging community. Nevertheless, decent swingers aren't interested in being home wreckers. You should thank her for her honesty. What she has expressed to you is extremely difficult and scary to navigate. I'm not ex-Mormon, but I understand the layers of nuance behind repressed sexuality. You should also honor your own needs and your honesty to her, just as she has done for you. It sounds to me like you need to leave this painful situation. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day.